Good morning, I'm Ed Pozzuoli, president of Tripp Scott, and we're here today with Chip Pankow. Chip is with Red Bull Global Rallycross. Chip, welcome.
Good morning, Ed. Thank you.
Chip, let's start with Red Bull Global Rallycross. What is it?
Red Bull Global Rallycross is a racing series that first started in 2011. And the idea is to create a portable racing series that can go into urban centers, have a great event for a weekend, and then move on. This season in 2015, we have 12 events that we'll be going to. Those 12 events are throughout the U.S., and we do an event in Barbados as well. And
one of the events is lucky enough to be right here in Fort Lauderdale.
We're really excited about Fort Lauderdale. It's when you take a look at the people of Fort Lauderdale, the setting of Fort Lauderdale, it's a great place for us. Not only is it one of our events, it's our first event of the season.
And so everybody understands what rallycross racing is. Describe for them, because everybody has an idea of what Indy cars and some other types of races like road rally. But in this case, rallycross, what are we talking about?
Rallycross really is a revolutionary sport. It's unlike most other forms of motor racing. Rally has always been an interesting thing to watch. It usually happens out in the woods. It's one car at a time. The cars go by, and you have to stand out in the woods and be cold and wait for a car to come by. We took the excitement of that, put it into a very small footprint, run cars, several cars at a time, competing against each other. The sport has grown very, very quickly. It's the fastest growing motorsport, we believe, in the world.
And so where's the proposed location for the race in Fort Lauderdale?
Fort Lauderdale Beach, utilizing the BMR property, specifically the north parking lot of BMR, where many citizens of Fort Lauderdale are familiar with the boat show being staged.
Right.
And one lane of A1A.
Okay, and that wasn't the original plan though, right?
When we first began conversations about this race, we came with a track design, and obviously there's been some feedback from the community. And ultimately, we don't come to communities to do a one-off race. We want it to be good for the community. We want to, once people see our events, we're welcomed back. And sure, there are some concerns. So what we've done is we've made some adjustments to our course. And those adjustments have allowed us to keep A1A open for the entire race weekend. There will never be a closure of A1A. There will be some lane reductions. About 90% of our track is actually on private property.
So it doesn't impact roadway at all, that 90%?
That 90% doesn't impact roadway at all.
The 10%, where would that be so everybody understands?
Yeah, it is, so
to the
A1A South,
right.
Is known as Seabreeze Boulevard.
Right.
So it's basically A1A South in front of the northern half of BMR. It's a stretch of A1A. It's about 650 feet long, and that's the area that we'll be closing.
So by
down.
Coconuts and some of the businesses along there, doesn't go that far.
Not even that far.
Doesn't even go that far.
Actually, doesn't
north.
even go to the old Oasis.
Okay.
It goes into the parking lot. So it comes out in front of BMR, goes northbound on southbound A1A, and then goes into the BMR parking lot at the top of the BMR parking lot. So it doesn't restrict access to any of those businesses. That'll all remain open.
So that will be that was basically an attempt to work out and be a good corporate citizen, and to try to have this be a regular event in Fort Lauderdale.
Absolutely.
How many people do you anticipate coming to actually the beach to watch the race?
Based on historical data, we've done about 35 of these. Our Saturday crowd, we're estimating at around 1,000 people. Sunday is really that's our day when we have our racing, and then we're done by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And for that Sunday section, we expect around 4,000 people. We'll limit the tickets at 4,000 people.
So on Sunday afternoon, there'll be about 4,000 people, say, compared to the Tortuga Festival that just completed on the beach, that was about 40,000.
Right.
So that gives everybody an idea of a context of the maximum impact of the number of people attending the event.
Correct. I mean, Tortuga sounded like a great event and a very big event, and our event is orders of magnitude smaller than that. Our event is more like having an evening performance at Parker Playhouse or War Memorial Auditorium.
And so one wonders then, with the 4,000 maximum people on Sunday afternoon and maybe 1,000 or so on Saturday, how do you make this work economically? Television or what?
Television is a large part of what we do. This will be aired live on NBC.
Wow.
3 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time on May 31st. The event is May 30th and May 31st, and it's kind of right in the good time. I think it's great for Fort Lauderdale. We're going to do a feature on Fort Lauderdale. We're going to show off Fort Lauderdale Beach.
Chip, why Fort Lauderdale though?
I grew up right on Las Olas Isles. So I know the area very well, and when we started looking around, and it wasn't on our drawing board in the beginning, I said, you know what? When I was thinking of the perfect demographic and the perfect community for us, Fort Lauderdale came to mind, and the idea took root, and we started working on the project, and here we are.
So let's talk a little bit about next steps. So the next step, you still need to have some permitting issues dealt with from the city.
Correct.
When is that scheduled?
So we've been working for months with the Parks and Recreation Department, with various entities, Fort Lauderdale Police, the people from the Parking Department, the Fire Department, answering their questions, getting green lights and go-aheads from them. Now what we're doing is we're doing some more outreach to local businesses, to local residents. I think once people learn about the event and learn what it is, and when they hear car race, they think, oh, there's going to be 150,000 people. It's going to ruin my weekend. I'm not going to be able to get in and out of my home. I think we have a very good plan for managing that. The
maximum attendance is on Sunday afternoon, about 4,000 people.
Right.
So we're only seeing slightly more during a time that is not really high time on the beach. This is not during season. We're just right after season.
Right.
And so the impact on the beach, will be felt a little bit, but that's a good thing.
Right. And I'm hoping we know it'll be positive for local businesses.
And so what kind of economic impact are we looking at?
So economic impact, and what we look at when we look at economic impact is number of hotel rooms booked, number of people flying into Fort Lauderdale, restaurants, the expenditures that they make here, our expenditures of putting on the race. It's around $8 million.
Okay. And obviously we can't calculate the national television spot on Fort Lauderdale, Fort Lauderdale Beach. That counts for something. That's not within the $8 million we're talking about.
Absolutely not. That is it's a major television event. And it'll be live, it'll be on NBC. We expect well over 1 million people to see the show, both in its original
on television
and its remake. On television, yes.
Okay, and so give me the dates of the event again.
The event is May 30th and May 31st. It runs during the daylight hours only, from about 10 o'clock in the morning till about 6 o'clock at night on Saturday, and 10 o'clock in the morning till 4 in the afternoon on Sunday.
And lastly, is this something you hope to be a regular event in Fort Lauderdale?
We do. What I'd like to say to everyone in Fort Lauderdale is if they have a chance to come out and see the event, or stay home and watch it on NBC, the event's been very well received. And until people see it, I think sometimes we have to recalibrate their expectations a little bit. Once they see it, they understand and welcome us back.
Well, Chip, Red Bull Global Rallycross has a great representative in you, and we look forward to this event come May 30th and 31st, and hopefully a long relationship with the city of Fort Lauderdale. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.